what's up? I'm the Zim. This is the Zim video. Is it straight? Am I level? Well, whatever. This is volume 3, part 9 of my Rideshare experience video series. Today's going to be a little different. It's all centered around a question I got from you. It's called app hours versus total hours is what I named it, I think. I was trying to think of a good way to name it, but we'll get to that in a moment. For those of you that like to get straight to the top, to whatever the title of the video is, well, you're just going to have to wait. So there. Anyways, I've been a rideshare driver since February 2nd, 2017. And what are we on today? It's January, sometime right now, January 28th. So this Sunday, this coming Saturday will be my 1-year anniversary of rideshare driving. Yeah. So how about that? Let's see. What do we want to talk about? Why no rides? I didn't do any rides this week. So let me break it down real quick. I didn't do any rides this week. I've been trying to get, as you know from last week, I signed up for Uber finally. I was planning to be driving for Uber. I was planning to report to you today what my first week of Uber driving was like, but I wasn't able to do that. My car, 2018 Hyundai Sonata, went into the shop. So last Monday I went to the shop and did my routine maintenance, which I was going to tell you about. It ended up costing me a little just shy of $1,000 because I got brakes, like $950 basically. I got my routine maintenance, some extensive maintenance, and brakes. But that's not what I want to really tell you about. But you can just stick that in your oh, how much does it cost to do this job thing? Oh, every once in a while you have to buy brakes and you have to buy things. And I just do. So I know there's those people out there that are like, well, you should go to the cheaper brake place or this place or that place. I find a lot of value of having all my work done at the same place, and also done by the dealer that sold me the car, at least until it's not under warranty anymore. Once it's not under warranty anymore whatsoever, then I might start parsing out going different places. But while it's under warranty, I like it all to get done in one location. Just get done so there's a complete record of exactly what's going on. So there, now you know. But there was a factory recall issue, something to do with, it's called the EMC and cluster update, engine monitoring logic product, blah, 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 blah. I don't really know anything about it. So they replaced that as well. And so Monday night, I went to the movies. I went and saw Glass. I really liked it. It's got mixed reviews, obviously, but I liked it. So I went and saw the movie, and on my way to the movie, it jerked real hard, and then the engine light came on, and I drove it. I was only maybe, I don't know, not very far from the parking lot of the movie theater, so I just made my way to the parking lot of the movie theater, left it there until after the movie. Then after the movie, I had it towed to the dealer because I didn't want to drive it and have it just stall on me anyway, so I was just screw it. And as of right now, recording this video, they don't really know what's wrong with it, so they're replacing stuff. And the last person I just talked to, one of the guys today, I actually went in there, talked to him today, and he said they're going to replace this part. If that doesn't work, they're looking at an engine replacement type issue. So, I don't know. So, that's why I haven't been driving. So, what that's meant for me is okay, I'm not driving. I have a couple weeks of I can survive for a couple weeks, but not much longer. I need to, pay rent and everything. I have a little bit in savings that I can make sure my rent gets paid and some of my bills get paid. Luckily, I'm obviously not spending money on gas, so that helps out things. And gas is going to be a subject we're going to talk about today as well. But, yeah, so I'm just trying to figure things out. I went down to Uber. I have a rental car from the dealer, gave me a rental car through Enterprise. And I went down to Uber this morning and said, hey, can I put my rental car on as the car to drive? And there it's no, you have to use one of our rentals. That's what they said. Either through Fare or whatever they have. I don't know how that works. I'm a little bit skeptical. He was telling the complete truth of that because I know there's other companies that advertise, use our cars for rideshare driving. So I'm not sure how that works. And I looked for a way I was going to call Lyft, because I know every once in a while I'd see call support, but I couldn't find that number today. And so I just emailed them, said, hey, I have a rental car. Can I use it for driving? Can I sign it up? So if it takes more than, I'd say, another full week, like next Monday, if I'm not driving, if my car's not fixed by next Monday, then I need to figure something out, because I won't be able to afford maintaining what's going on. So that's what the story there is all about with my car, why I haven't given any rides. You know, I don't know how long I have on the Uber promotion. Hoping at least a month to get started, but you know, because once I get started, you know, obviously I'll be rocking the rides. I do a lot of rides, as you know. So anyways, that's what's going on there. Let's get into shout-outs. It's just shout-outs and mail time now. That's what it's all about today, just shout-outs and mail time. Hey, did you notice I'm not wearing a hat? Got my haircut a little different, a little short, high and tight, like they say. Anyways, feeling good about it. I don't necessarily like wearing a hat all the time, but that's another story. Shout-outs and mail time. So we got people that I shout out to are people that have engaged with the rideshare shows, made comments on the rideshare shows that I've never seen comment before, because I just like to say thank you for engaging with my channel and helping the algorithm do its thing, so maybe more people will see my videos on my channel, because one day I'd like to do this more. I'd like to make this like what I make more of my money off of, not this. Right around, what do you beat? Let's go. Pick up somebody. Anyways, so we got Mito Chandra is back. Mito Chandra is back. Akai Chai, Byron Middleton Cooking. Those are the 3 people that have commented on these videos. So thanks a lot for shaking it up, making the world see what's going on. And then we have one question from you today, because it's kind of like a big question in a way, because it opened up a lot of kind of thoughts and ideas, and we went back and forth a bit. So I had this guy, Blackfish Gaming, wrote in, and I'm not sure, I'm going to read his whole question. It'll probably be little small text on the screen. How many hours are you in your car in total per day? It seems as though you drive from 7 a.m. to noon for first shift, and then 3 p.m. until completing a quota which you had stated somewhere usually ends no later than 11 p.m. If I look at the math, you're in your car for 13 hours, so 13 hours plus 5 days equals 65 total hours. Was the 120 tips included in the final total of 1,028? Yes, it was. If so, 1,028.08 total hours comes to $15.81 per hour, not including cost of gas, where on your rear, blah, blah. 200 for gas makes 828, which equals $12 per hour. I don't like this app hour concept. It's a bit misleading. I really enjoy your videos. The breakdown seems to be off. Could you correct me if I'm off anywhere? I'm thinking of getting into rideshare and really trying to research this. I'm in San Diego, so your vids will be helpful. Also, what model is your car you're driving? Oh, I said that already. Thanks for the information. Alright, thanks Blackfish Gaming for that big long question. I should have read it ahead of time, but I didn't. So, I did reply. So this is, I'm just going to read what I replied, because it kind of completes it all in a lot of ways. You can't look at this job in the traditional way we think of hours. That's why I use app hours. For making money, all that matters is if the app is on. I feel like a lot of people will say they are working from X time to Y time and not even have the app on for a good portion of that time. And then wonder why they can't make the same money as I do. It's all about the app. It has to be on. These days I spend very close to the same amount of app hours as in the car. So I'm in the car, I turn the app on. Anyways, I'll explain that more in a minute. I don't have the app on when I'm out of the car, and I don't spend a lot of time in the car when the app is off. The exceptions are when I'm on my way home at the end of a shift, or when I need to use the restroom or get food. You are right that you devote more time to this job as a whole than what the app hours say. In a traditional environment, you would get breaks or possibly paid lunches. When you do this job, you have to think of it as being self-employed, because you are. I think it's universally accepted that being self-employed means you spend more time working for the same money or even less than a traditional job. It has to be noted that self-employed has its benefits, such as being your own boss and flexibility of schedule. The days I work, I basically feel my entire day is devoted to the job. When I take my break from noon to 3, it's basically dead time. I'm resting and getting ready to start again at 3. Is it worth it? So far, it is for me. That does not mean it will be for you or someone else. I try my best to be transparent about what I make and how I make it, so you can possibly take that information, apply it to your own lifestyle, and see how it fits for you. A couple of things to note. I set aside $200 for gas every week. That does not mean I spend that amount. That does not mean that is what I spend. Okay, here's some good stuff. Last year, maybe I'll put some numbers on the screen. Last year, I spent a total of $4,283.97 for the all year. That comes to about $38 a week, 52 weeks in a year. Granted, I took at least 4 weeks off of driving and various other times throughout the year. Also, I tend to finish my rides by around 9 to 10:30. I rarely go till 11 p.m. When things are on schedule for my 24 rides per day, 25 rides per day, if I go for 30 or so, then yes, I will drive till 11 or 11:30 p.m. So to break it down, I average about 9 hours a day in the car. Then you have to add break time and such on top of that. I am driving a 2008 Honda. Okay, so that was that. That's kind of the breakdown of that. I wanted to kind of mention a couple other things. So like the whole hourly. So he found that 13 hours, I guess, is from 7 to noon and from 3 till 11 is a total of 13 hours, I guess. I don't like I said, that's the time I set aside, and I don't always work that exact schedule. Like sometimes I start at 8. Sometimes I get done. Sometimes I go till 11. But that's the time I set aside for in the morning. 8 to 11, just because it was good, and I got all my 10 rides in the morning really quickly. But that's the time I set aside. Those are the times I want to be working. I don't want to be working from noon to 3. It's dead. It's not worth it. I think so. If you're doing this job full time, I think it's best to do a split shift than just try to go straight through. So there's this argument, there's this idea that you have to kind of think of that I've been thinking of. So when I first started this job, if you go back, one of my most watched videos and most commented on videos for this series and doing this since I started this was the first time I made a video that said making $1,000 per week. It got a lot of views and it got a lot of comments. And on that video, it shows me working like at my app time was like 72 hours or something ridiculous like that. And that was like, at that time I wasn't working the same way I am now. I would stay here, I would come home every time, leave the app on. So in that scenario, it was very deceptive that, I wasn't necessarily working that entire time. I was like doing other things, and then I would just leave the house when I got a request and go do it. So the app was on much longer than I was kind of actually working. As I evolved my strategy over time, it kind of slid the other direction more so. I think I'm very, very much close to app time being the amount of time I'm actually working. So but now it's like the app time is a bench. It's like a baseline of like you're gonna at least work this amount of hours, or need to set aside at least this much time. Because you're going to have to factor in like breaks and lunch and all that stuff, and then finding out when times are better than not, so how you design your day will work out. And that's the reason I talk so much about app time. Another reason is because it's the only real way you can say you can give like this kind of control group kind of idea. This kind of like, if you're setting aside time to work but the app isn't on, it doesn't really matter. The app has to be on. So at least I can say when I'm telling you about how much I made, I can tell you it in terms of something we both can achieve, and it can both be like I don't know, make sense in a way. Because if you are not recording 8 to 10 hours per day, 45 hours a week like I am, and you're wondering why you're not making the same amount of money I am, that's the first place to start. If your app doesn't say you've put in that much time, then get your app hours up to that much time and see what happens. That's one of the first places to start, and I think that's one of the biggest things, kind of misconceptions. I think we just want to we want to take this job and stick it into like a format that we're used to, a 9 to 5 schedule, and it's like, what everybody that's worked a 9 to 5 job, nobody's worked from the moment they've got to their work to the moment they leave solid, just getting it done. It's like you talk to your friends, you're water coolering, you're taking breaks, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're finding there's probably like, I don't know, out of every 8-hour shift, you probably worked 5 hours, to be honest. Maybe not. I mean, I'm generalizing and, stereotyping or whatever, but be honest with yourself. But with this job, if you want to make the money, at least if you want to do it the way that I do it, my strategy, you have to be focused and working for that full 42 to 46 hours app time per week to make this the kind of money that I make. So I don't know. I hope that kind of like gives you some things to chew on, some things to consider, some things to stir in the pot if you're considering doing this job, or if you already are doing this job and wondering how you could make more money at it. You just gotta really look at that app time and go, what's the reality? And hit me up with any other questions you have. Again, remember, it's kind of up to you to make this show happen. And here's the ways to do it: at Rideshare Zim on Instagram, _Zim at hotmail.com, and of course comments on these videos. Alright, we did it. I think we did it. So I'll let you know next Monday. I'll let you know what's up with my car. But of course, as well, if you want to know sooner, ask me, or go to my podcast. I do a almost daily podcast, pretty daily podcast called Creative Mind, and I'll definitely be talking about what's been going on because it's a daily thing, so I update what's going on more often. You can keep up with that. Love for you to check out the podcast, so do it up. And then until next week, be excellent to each other. May your rides be long, your trips be big, and subscribe to this channel, yo. Thanks.